the Java Lab experiment number 10. Write a Java program to implement wrapper classes and their methods. This program is actually an example for a wrapper class and their different methods. This program shows how to create a wrapper class of different primitive data types and how to use the methods provided by wrapper class, such as converting from primitive to object, string to object, like that. These are some of the methods we used in this program. This program is only for the demo because it is not an efficient program. This program actually gives you how to use different methods of wrapper classes. This program is based on the calculation of loan. If some person take some amount from a bank for a particular period of time on particular interest, the final amount here to pay for the bank, that calculation I done here. For that one, I have to first import an IO package because I am using some of the classes like data input stream where I have to read some data from the keyboard. For that one, I need one package called as java.io, which will provide the input-output operations. I have created one class called as wrapper demo. In that wrapper demo, I have created two methods. The first one is called the main method, and the second method is called the loan method. This loan method calculates the loan of a person based on principal amount, interest rate, as well as the year. Now I am starting from the main here. In the main, have taken the three variables: principal amount P, interest rate I, and year is Y. Since year is given in integer number, but the principal amount and the interest rate is in a floating value. First, floating number is actually converted into floating object. P is actually a object, not a primitive data type. I is also here interest rate, which is also a floating object, and initialized with 0. Both are initialized with here 0 with the help of float primitive data type here. Y is also initialized to 0 here. Since Y is a primitive data type, it is nothing but a 0 here. Next, I will explain about this try later here. What is the meaning of this try? I have read here some data from the, I am reading some data from the keyboard here. So I need one class called as data input stream, and system.in means, in means here your standard input, that is nothing but keyboard. So whenever you are reading from keyboard, I have to write system.in and I have to pass it to the data input stream as a parameter. There are different classes are available in Java to read from a keyboard. This is the one of the simplest technique I used. You can use any other technique to read from the keyboard. All are valid one. Okay, now in my program, I have created one object of data input stream and it will use for reading some data from the keyboard. First it will print here, enter the principal amount. Now I will show you how actually it will look like. For that one, I use the debug button here. Okay, whenever I start here, debug, it is start here. Here it will show enter the principal amount. Here it will execute enter the principal amount. Then I use some method called as flush. What happens whenever I am reading something from a keyboard? Keyboard contains a small memory called as buffer. If you already typed something, that memory is already filled with that characters. So I have to remove all the characters in the keyboard buffer. So that is done by the flush. Flush means remove the buffer data in the keyboard. So flush it. Now it is empty. Now I have to use a method called as read line. Whenever I use the method called as read line, it will take one string data from the input here. Whatever I typed here, it is actually in the string format. So what actually it is asking for a principal amount. So I have written here the amount called as 5,000. Now imagine I have taken a loan 5,000 from bank or any person. That is the 5,000 amount I have taken. Now I will continue here. Okay, I have to press enter first, then continue. Okay, now see what here actually done. Whenever I read the data for the principal amount, it is in the form of string that is stored in the SP. Now I have converted that string data type to object data type, that is wrapper class object data type P. That is done by a method called as value of. What the method value of do? It's a static method of float. Okay, what it will do? It will convert the string data type into float data type. It's a object, float object here. Now I have to read the next number, so I go to next here. Okay, here it will display for enter the interest rate. Now I have to continue here. Okay, whenever you the continue. Okay, now it will asking for the read line again. Read line means here I have to give the interest rate. Now I will write 0.15. 0.15 means 15%. I have to pay 15% interest on this principal amount. Apart from 5,000, how much extra memory I have to pay? 15%. That is mentioned here. Next again, I press enter. Then again you go to, now see here SI is nothing but here string. I have to convert back to float object. Now I have to read again, enter the number of years. Then read line again. Now I have to write the year, number of years. So I write here, okay, 4 years. Not 5. I will write 4 years. The meaning here is I am taking a loan from a person 5,000 on an interest 15%, and I will return that amount after 4 years. How much amount I have to pay? Press the enter. Then see here, whatever the data you read here, it's nothing but a string data. You have to convert that into primitive data type Y. Remember, it's not an object here. Y is not an object. It's a primitive data type, integer data type. So I am using here parse int. I'm not using here value of. I'm using parse int because value of convert string to object type. But parse int here, it will convert string to primitive integer type. Now it is converted to Y. That is nothing but 4 is actually stored in the Y. Now you can see here Y is actually containing value 4 here, but P and I is actually a object. Now I have go to next statement here. I am using one method called here loan method, and it will take 3 parameters, and first 2 are actually primitive floating type, and the third one is actually integer data type. See here, it's a primitive float, and the third one is integer type. Now I have P. P is nothing but a object. I is also object. Y is a integer data type. That is primitive data type. Now I have to give a parameter like this way. P dot float value. What I am doing, I am converting the object float type to primitive float type. Okay, here also object float type to primitive float type, and converting that one and pass it to here. Now I will do the same thing here. Now this is the loan program I have written. This loan program takes the principal amount, interest rate as well as year. Depending on that one, it will calculate the total loan taken by the person here. Now this is the program. Here start from the first year up to the number of years. Is here in my program it is 4. The year is incremented from 1 to 4. First initialize sum with the principal amount. Then on each iteration the sum is added with the interest rate here. It is a compound interest. Here I have calculated using a technique called as compound interest. To the principal amount, on each year it will add additional compound interest and it will return the total value, total amount I have to pay. Now I will press the step here. Okay, now the calculation is done here. Sorry, I have to do the step again. Okay, now I am not going inside detail in the loan section. The loan just calculate the loan for the person. You just read it, how actually it will works. It's a compound interest calculation. Now once the loan function executed, it will return some value and that value is displayed here. That is nothing but 8745.031 means I have to pay. I have taken the 5000 from that person. I have to pay 8745 rupees. Now I have to display that one. Okay, here it will display the amount, the total amount, and exit. Okay, whenever I press the next one, here it will exit. So one question arises, sir, what is actually this try and catch here it will do? Okay, what happens when I am reading some input from a keyboard, the users are giving some wrong input. He is instead of numbers, he may give some other characters as an input here, which may result in an exception. Exception means error. I have to handle that exception. That can be done by a try and catch block here. Some of the methods like parse int throws some exceptions like number format exception. To overcome such problem, I am using try and catch here. What happens if any error is there? It catch it, means the error is handled, and give it to the catch. The catch will just display the output input output error. But here I am giving the valid input, so there is no any error will be generated. I will also show how actually it will error will be generated by using some demo here. Now I will continue one more time here. Okay, I just run the program. Now I will provide some number like here 5000. Okay, 0.15 at the interest rate. Then I have given like 4 year. 4 year as the input. Now here I have added some characters here. With numbers I have added some characters. So when I press enter here, now see I have given the wrong input here. So it will give input output error. It handle it properly and display the message. Instead of crashing our program, it will just handle it properly and display the error message so that the user can understand what is the mistake he done and continue the process.